Bill Weld says he has no interest in running for anything. The former Massachusetts governor says he is very happy practicing law and has no plans to return to public life. He says he may do some campaigning for Paul Cellucci this year. And attorneys representing 4 reputed mob leaders say they want federal Judge Mark Wolf to remain on the case, but the Justice Department has requested that Wolf step down, citing possible conflicts from his days as a federal prosecutor. Is money motivating Kathleen Willey? President Clinton's attorney is raising that question. Robert Bennett says Willey's lawyer is arranging a $300,000 book deal for the former White House worker. Willey accuses Clinton of making a crude sexual advance. He denies it. Meanwhile, the White House has released letters and phone records to undercut Willey's credibility. CNN's Wolf Blitzer has more from the White House.
Letters that are attached in this pile of documents the White House has just released have Kathleen Willey signing such letters fondly and also saying that he can call her any time. All of this is part of the White House strategy, the damage control strategy.
A majority of Americans surveyed in a new CBS poll, 52%, say they think Bill Clinton has engaged in reckless sexual conduct since he's been president. But an even greater number, 67%, say they approve of the way he's doing his job. That much talked about new witnesses in the Monica Lewinsky investigation won't be testifying before a grand jury today after all. Sherry Densick's lawyer says his client asked to delay her testimony until next week. He says she's upset by all the publicity. After being acquitted of sexual misconduct charges, Gene McKinney says he's ready to move on. But first, he's suing his most public accuser for libel. The former sergeant major of the Army says Brenda Hoster lied about him to reporters when she said he harassed her. Irish eyes will be smiling in New York today, home of one of the world's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebrations. The city's annual parade will feature 100,000 marchers, including Martin McGuinness, chief negotiator for Sinn Féin, the political arm of the Irish Republican Army. President Clinton is devoting most of this St. Patrick's Day to the Northern Ireland peace process. He's meeting today with 4 different delegations representing parties involved in the talks. His message to all of them will be that now is the time to settle the conflict. President Clinton's advisors on AIDS say they're angry. They're expected to approve a resolution today saying they have no confidence in the administration's ability to fight the spread of the AIDS virus. They're also demanding the government buy clean needles for drug addicts. The parents of JonBenet Ramsey say they approve of convening a grand jury in their daughter's murder. That's as long as Boulder, Colorado police don't control it. The Ramseys say the police should be a target of the investigation for alleged misconduct. A cargo ship carrying fresh supplies for Mir has docked with the Russian space station, but the maneuver was not trouble-free. The Mir commander had to use manual controls at the last minute after the automatic docking system failed. Some New Jersey officials are criticizing a plan to install a $600,000 latrine in a federal park, saying it's sending money down the toilet. The high-tech waterless composting potty would be placed in the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. In sports, the Bruins beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3 in overtime last night at the Fleet Center. The Bees are off until Thursday when Toronto comes to town. Tonight, the Celtics are in Dallas for a game against the Mavericks. Charlie has more sports news coming up in just a few minutes. The winning numbers in the Mass Millions game last night, 6, 19, 25, 26, 32, and 39. The bonus number was 48. There were no jackpot winners, so Thursday's draw is expected to be $4.5 million. The winning combination in the Mass Daily Lottery, 2798. That's 2798. Payouts based on a $1 bet with all 4 in exact order was over $4,000. The WBET news time is 7:38. We'll have the forecast after this from PhoneWorks of Brockton.
If you're the person responsible for your company's telephone costs, maybe you haven't had time to truly evaluate how best to take advantage of the many changes deregulation has brought to the telecommunication industry. Well, don't feel so all alone. PhoneWorks Telecom has helped many local companies bring savings of up to 40 to 55% right to the bottom line, while at the same time increasing service and capacity to better serve your customers. Now you can receive over 17 years of local, long-distance, and equipment experience to help you make the right decision that best fits your company's needs. No matter what size or type of business, PhoneWorks services are always free. That's right, absolutely free. So pick up the phone and call Mike today at 586-6666, extension 100. That's 586-6666, extension 100. Or see their ad in the Brockton Yellow Pages. Phone works. They make every call count.
Good morning. Mostly sunshine, a beautiful day today. 43 to 48 degrees should do it this afternoon. Clouds on the increase tonight. We're down to 25 to 30. It'll be cloudy with developing rain, maybe starting with some snow or sleet briefly tomorrow morning. Temperatures reach the lower 40s in the afternoon, and more occasional rain likely on Thursday. Temperatures 42 to 47. Unfortunately, it looks like that rain will carry over into Friday as well. This is meteorologist Russ Murley on 1460 WBET.
Thanks, Russ. It's 23 degrees. This news was brought to you by PhoneWorks of Brockton, evaluating your company's telephone needs. I'm Sharon Smith for WBET News. Charlie?
And now the only person who hasn't dropped off any food for us in the past week, Miriam Meserve from the Meserve Travel and Cruise Center.
I know. Isn't that a sad story? Now you had to tell everybody that I'm lacking in my duties
Where
here.
have you been? Come on, will you? We've had all kinds of great stuff. Come on.
Well, that's because my great ad rep is on vacation, and I can't feed you guys without him being there.
Man, that is as weak as it gets.
It sounded pretty good, though, anyway, didn't
Yeah,
it?
well.
Poor Matt is in Florida, basking in the sun where the rest of us should be at this point.
Yeah. And McLaughlin on St. Patrick's Day at Disney World.
That is a really scary thought, but I think it would be really fun to do St. Patty's Day in Disney World. I've never done St. Patty's Day, and knowing Disney, I'm sure they do a great job, because they do a great job no matter what they do down there.
His poor wife is like the bodyguard today, I'll guarantee you that.
I think she'll just lead him around to see where he ends up and what happens.
All righty then. So today there's a big front page story about more airlines expecting half of all flyers will abandon paper tickets and go to electronic ticketing.
Well, I don't think everybody's going to do it by choice, and let's try to explain a little bit about this paper ticketing, paperless ticketing situation. What happens is now you make a reservation, and that's all we give you is a reservation number. You no longer receive an actual ticket. And we're not doing it at our office yet, because we just feel that the people, aren't comfortable with going to an airport with just a reservation.
Yeah.
And it is a little concerning to a lot of people. I think for the business person, it makes it a lot easier, because they can just keep a list of a number and then show up at the airport, get their boarding card, and go on. But for our average traveler, I think it shows a little bit of concern, because it gives them they don't have any self-confidence of what they're actually getting for their money.
So now, do airlines have both the ability to just take a number and or your ticket?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so they do have the ability right now that if you choose to do so, you could come into my office and say that you wanted an electronic ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I could make the reservation, process it, and give you just a reservation number, and that's what you would go to the airport with.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So it's a really interesting concept. Yes, it does cut down on a lot of time with us putting tickets together and everything, but I really feel that, it's going to be a 50-50 situation on who likes it and who doesn't.
And you still have to show your ID and all that anyway.
That's even worse now, especially when the next few months where the travel is so heavy. They're really strict, and it's got to be spelled exactly the correct way. And that's what's important about booking with a local agency, because when we do give you a receipt with the confirmation number, we have right on the receipt that says your name and how it's spelled in the letters. If you do it over the phone with someone, say at the airport, or you're calling into just an airline, when you get there, what if it's all spelled wrong?
And they can stop you on that, can't
Exactly.
they? Exactly.
Exactly. So using an agency definitely has its benefits, because especially when you leave our office, we make sure you read the itinerary, read it and sign it. So anytime people have to sign something, we find that they definitely read it over, because in this day and age, people are so busy, they're just in a hurry to get things done, but we make them sit there and kind of read things over, so we make sure the dates, the flights, the times, and the spelling of the name correct. Very important when you're traveling today.
Also, in this day and age, we're all going 100 miles an hour, so a gift certificate is always a great idea, and I think it's just a great idea, really. If you know someone who likes to do a little traveling and they've got a birthday or an anniversary coming up, you folks have the certificates available.
Right, and I think we think about it at Christmas time mostly, but during the year, we still have the gift certificates available. If someone that's celebrating a special anniversary or likes to travel by motor coach, like even to Atlantic City. I mean, the denominations can be 10, it can be 20, it can be $15, whatever you choose, but they get a few of those and they put it towards a trip, and maybe sometimes it just gives people that thing, well, look, I've got this gift certificate, let's travel, and it gives them an extra little boost ticket to do something different, put a little enjoyment in their life.
Absolutely, and you do have motor coaches. Now, where do your motor coach trips generally go? The immediate area, or do they go out a bit?
We have that special one going in October, which is really kind of fun, which we're doing, the Grand Canyon and the national parks and that kind of thing. So we would fly out into Las Vegas and then stay in that area. Or we have the local ones at the Trapp Family Lodge in Vermont or the Maine coast. Nova Scotia is really popular during the summer and the fall. So, there's all kinds of different things that are available. And the difference with the motor coaches, as the old bus saying was, you leave the driving to somebody else. You just get on the bus and you go.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier, especially if you don't know where you're going.
Well, and also if you're into history and the culture of the area you're going, these tour guides or tour managers, as they call it, whether it's the United States or especially in Europe, they've got all this information to give you, and you learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of traveling is learning. So I think that's what you look at it for, at least my point of view.
Now, you brought tears to my eyes a little while ago when you told us about this unbelievable special deal you got going right now, Norwegian Cruise Lines.
Well, what happens, probably hourly, we get faxes in from the different cruise lines with different ideas and different specials. Norwegian Cruise Line has come up with this instant savings with instant payment, which means that we have certain dates for March, April, and May that are available, and you come into the office, and we go over the itinerary, we tell you the bottom line, and you pay for it in full right at that time in order to get the savings. And I did yesterday a cruise for 2 people, 7 nights, leaving San Juan, Puerto Rico, which means that you fly from Boston to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and do St. Lucia, St. Kitts, St. Martin, all the beautiful southern Caribbean islands for under $2,000 for 2 people.
Which would generally run you about how much?
Oh, probably $3,200.
Oy. That's a great deal.
But, what's happening is they've got some space left out there, and they're really starting to pass the special on to the consumer. But it doesn't happen all the time, which is really important for people to remember, because if people were looking for something like this in January and February, forget it, it wasn't there.
Right. So they had a couple openings, and so they let folks know about it.
Well, they also could have had a lot of, groups. Like Reserve Travel does a lot of groups, and if we had, 20 cabins canceled, these cabins would now open up for the regular consumer to buy. So it ties up a lot of inventory with a lot of the groups that are going, and then all of a sudden they call the cruise line up and say, well, you're going to use these 20 cabins here, you take them back.
Okay. All right. The Reserve Travel and Cruise Center in East Bridgewater, 378-3600, and in Taunton at 880-9756. And their newest location, I don't know how you pulled this one off, but inside the Grand Canyon.
That would be stupendous, especially if there's no telephone.
That's right. It's just all done. I don't know how it's done.
I don't know how it's done, but I think. Oh, I know. They take the little mule trip down the side of the canyon to bring me my messages.
Perfect.
So that could be very stressless, because by the time they got there, I'd be asleep.
That would not be a tough place to handle, as the Grand Canyon is, and spectacular.
And it's just spectacular out there. Oh. People really need to look at this. So many things here in the States that we overlook and travel elsewhere that are unexplored and are lots of fun for families to do.
That's right. It's just spectacular and well worth the trip. All right, Mary, well, it's always a pleasure as usual, and we'll chat again soon.
Great, and happy St. Patty's Day from the Italian girl at Reserve Travel.
Yes, I know it. Thanks, Mary.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. She said to me off the air, what am I supposed to say? I'm Italian on St. Patrick's Day. I don't think it'll be that difficult. 7:47 on WBET. Thank you, Mary. It's 13 before 8 o'clock.
Some of our best customers drive to us from Boston. Hi, this is Alexander Reisman of Ramen Company, diamond dealer since 1900 in Brockton. They drive because they've discovered ROM quality and value. They come to ROM's because ROM's is absolutely the finest jewelry store south of Boston. They come to ROM's because they expect ROM's service. They come because ROM's is one store they can trust. And they come to ROM's for the value. At ROM's, we sell our diamonds in the unmounted state so that you can properly judge cut, color, clarity, and carat weight. It's the way we buy diamonds. It's the way you should buy a diamond. That's why we can offer the ROM Diamond Guarantee. You can't buy a better diamond for less anywhere in America. Remember, in diamonds, it's not quality that's expensive, it's ignorance that's expensive. That's Ramen Company, diamond dealers since 1900 in Brockton. You can't buy a better diamond for less. That's the ROM Diamond Guarantee.
And we shall check the roads for you here in a minute. The report brought to you by the B&E Auto Superstore, 1675 Main Street in Brockton. Don't forget, come June, a chance for you to win a car from B&E Auto Superstore.
For all your automotive needs in one stop, Jack Manoli invites you to B&E Auto Superstore to see his huge selection of used cars and large complete service center. At B&E Auto Superstore, every customer is given personal attention, and every car the best service available at prices you can afford. Their always friendly staff is available to assist you and answer your automotive questions. For complete car care, stop in. Meet Jack and his staff at B&E Auto Superstore at 1675 Main Street, Brockton. You can phone them at 508-427-6665. Current specials include a lube, oil, and filter, always only $12.99. Let B&E flush and fill your radiator and cooling system for just $21.95. Stop into B&E Auto Superstore. They'd love to meet you. B&E Auto Superstore at 1675 Main Street in Brockton.
Now we'll get to the roads here with John Hamblin in a second. Hi, Peter. Peter?
Hello.
Peter, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Go ahead.
I'd like to wish my son, Nick Mahoney, a happy birthday today. He's 10 years old today.
Yeah,
and that's from his mother, his sister Katie, and his father.
What school does he attend?
He goes to the Kennedy School.
Good for you. Well, thanks for calling, Dad.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Happy birthday. Bye-bye. It's 7:50 on WBET, 10 before the 8 o'clock news. And off to the roads. John Hamblin in the latest. John?
Charlie, we're checking reports of an accident, 195 East by Route 24 in Fall River. Couple cars involved here. And this WBET traffic update brought to you by 1-800-DRIVERS. Find your next driving job or start a driving career by calling 1-800-DRIVERS or visit their website. It's 1-800-DRIVERS.com. Solo team, owner-operators, training, and more. Call 1-800-DRIVERS. A couple breakdowns to watch out for this morning, causing some delays on the ramp from 95 north to 128 north. Another one, 128 north, 109 back in traffic up in Dedham. John Hamblin for WBET 1460.
Thank you, John. Traffic brought to you in part by the B&E Auto Superstore, 1675 Main Street in Brockton. Don't forget, come June, a chance to win a car from the B&E Auto Superstore. And on to sports at 7:51, brought to you by Generis Liquors, next to the Brockton Cafe. Generis at 430 Main Street in Brockton. Whew, boy, the Bruins bailed out last night. 4-3 in overtime, beating Tampa. Bruins are down 3-2. Dmitry Kristich scored shorthanded. Less than 2 minutes to go. And then at the 1:24 mark of OT, Steve Hines got what proved to be the game winner.
We pulled one off. We're going to take that and go ahead and just get ready for Toronto. And, you know, those are two big points for us tonight. When you're looking up at the scoreboard and you're seeing you could pick up a couple of points in Ottawa possibly, and Montreal was tied. I don't know what happened there, but, you know, they're big points for us.
Yep, that's Ray Bork of the Bruins. Steve Hines' 16th was the game winner, and the Bruins prevail. Stay in 5th place in the Northeast Division, but just a point back of 4th place, Montreal. Bruins off now till Thursday when Toronto comes to the Fleet Center. To the scoreboard, the Flyers beat Toronto 4-1 last night. Capitals stay with the Bruins in that number 5 spot, beating Phoenix 2-1 on goals by Peter Bondra and Adam Oates. The Rangers held off Ottawa 5-4. Montreal and Calgary a 3-3 tie. San Jose beat Los Angeles 2-1. NBA, Celtics in action tonight in Dallas to face the Mavericks. The Utah Jazz made it 11 in a row, beating Minnesota 102-96. Karl Malone had 29. San Antonio handed Milwaukee its 6th straight setback, 96-85. Seattle over the Lakers 101-89. Charlotte's won 11 of their last 12. A winner last night over Denver, 109-87. Chicago beat Jersey, 88-72. It was Detroit over Miami, 103-90. The Red Sox in exhibition play yesterday, beaten by the Yankees 6-4. Pedro Martinez struck out 7, walked 1, but allowed 6 hits in 4 innings for his toughest outing of the spring. Sox and Rangers at Fort Myers today at 1:05. We'll chat with Seth Livingstone, Patriot Ledger of Quincy, with our Red Sox spring training report today at 12:20. No upset for the Harvard women last night. They came up short to Arkansas in the women's round of 32, 82-64 out in Stanford. So the Harvard women's dream after that phenomenal upset of Stanford comes to a conclusion. NITs, who cares, but we'll go through the scoreboard anyway. It was Auburn. How about this? This is amazing. Auburn was up 5 points with 24 seconds left in their game against Marquette. They never scored again, and the game went to overtime. Marquette scored 5 points to tie the game, 15 in the overtime, for a 75-60 win. Minnesota beat Alabama Birmingham 79-66. It was Georgia Tech over Georgetown in overtime 80-78. Penn State over Dayton 77-74. Fresno State 83. Memphis 80. Hawaii over Gonzaga 78-70. And that's sports. 7:54 on WBET.
If you want to keep the cost of having a good time as low as possible, visit Generis Liquor Store at 430 Main Street, Brockton. Generis offers discount prices on all of your favorite domestic and imported wines, beers, and spirits, whatever you need for that good time. They have complete lottery facilities and fast, courteous service on bottle and can returns. Generis since 1932, serving the Brockton area with the finest beverages at the lowest prices. Generis Liquor Store, 430 Main Street, next to the Brockton Cafe.
Plus Merley's forecast calls for just a really nice day today. Enjoy sunshine, 43 to 48 degrees. Some clouds will come in overnight tonight, 25 to 30. Then both tomorrow and Thursday don't look good with clouds and showers. That rain could start off as sleet tomorrow with temps in the low 40s. So enjoy the day today. It's going to be the last good one for a couple. 2798 in the lottery numbers game, 2798, and in mass cash, 6, 19, 25, 26, 32, 39, and a bonus ball 48 in the mass millions. I say mass cash, mass millions jackpot. 7:55 on WBET. Jim Larkin, host of Sounds of the Emerald Isle, joins Bill Alex on the Newsline. 2 hours today to forget about the issues of the day. Forget Kathy, whatever her name is, Ms. Willie. Is it Kathy, Catherine Willie, whatever. President Clinton, forget it. 2 hours, Irish today, that's it. Going to have some music and comedy, trivia, fun, prizes galore today between 9 and 11. Marion's Conversations, breaking the grip of anxiety disorder with author Geraldine Ross today, 11:05 to 12 noon. 7:55. How would you like to get as much as $75 cash back for buying an appliance you were going to buy anyway? That's the deal at Clyde Meserve Appliances in East Bridgewater. Great prices, and now you can save even more with Whirlpool and KitchenAid cash back rebates. Rebates available on specific models of washers, dryers, ranges, dishwashers, trash compactors. Meserve sends the rebate form in for you. You don't do any paperwork. All you do is enjoy your new appliance and wait for your money to come in the mail. It doesn't get any easier. Clyde Meserve sells and services Whirlpool, even if the unit was not purchased at their store. They are a factory-authorized Whirlpool appliance service outlet, whether on in-warranty repairs or out-of-warranty service. Their full-time repair techs will work on any Whirlpool appliance product with prompt service. Most cases, repairs can be done same day or next day. Open 8 till 8, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 2 Friday, and closed weekends. Been in business since 1950. They'll be there tomorrow. Clyde Meserve, 126 Pleasant Street, 1 mile from East Bridgewater Center. Clyde Meserve Appliances, East Bridgewater. Wall Street numbers coming up.
If you're almost perfect, we want your business. Hi, this is Bill Carpenter of Carpenter Insurance. It seems like every insurance company is offering discounts for Step 9 drivers with perfect driving records. What if you're an almost perfect Step 10? Most insurance companies have reduced their discounts for Step 10 drivers, but not us. We're offering a full 10% discount for all Step 10 drivers. If you're an almost perfect Step 10, call us at Carpenter Insurance and save money. 508-587-9900.
Thank you, Bill. 7:57, 3 minutes before the news. Wall Street, another banner day yesterday. Dow up 116.33 points to close at 87.19. Just a day where gradually the market went up and up and up, and a big surge at the end of the day. NASDAQ and S&P 500 all new record highs also. The NASDAQ up 16.5 yesterday, S&P up 10.5. Gold on the COMEX down 80 cents to $294.50 the ounce. Just unbelievable how this keeps going skyward. And according to Richard McCabe, who is a chief market analyst for Merrill Lynch, the money is still coming in, and it is able to drive the market higher. Investor Warren Buffett remains confident about stocks. That was cited by some analysts as a catalyst for the big rally yesterday, but mostly just we continue to enjoy low inflation, moderate economic growth, and plenty of liquidity, and that keeps the Dow moving further northward. And that's great. And updates on Wall Street on the Dow 3 times an hour. Top of the hour with CNN throughout the afternoon, and 25 and 55 past the hour beginning at 12:25 here on WBET. A couple minutes away from news at 8 o'clock.
In today's competitive business climate, you appreciate any advantage that'll make your business look its best and stand out from the rest. And when you think about how you get your message across, such a big part of that message are the visual materials you use. Sir Speedy in downtown Brockton will make you look your best with newsletters and brochures that create an image, make an impact, and leave an impression. Sir Speedy will work with you to design your letterhead and business cards exactly to your specifications. Colors are no problem with their state-of-the-art color laser copier from bright blues and bold reds, or if you prefer, more subtle shades and subdued hues. Let Sir Speedy help make a statement about your business that customers will understand and will remember. You know you already have an outstanding business. Now let Sir Speedy make that business stand out. Sir Speedy is Brockton's only downtown printer in the Enterprise Building at 62 Main Street in Brockton.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ween, the ophthalmologist with my mother, Frances.
Larry, can you help me get my driver's license?
Yes, Mom. I'll give you the registry eye examination in my office.
Great, but am I too old to drive?
No, Mom, but you really ought to stop speeding. I'm Dr. Ween at 59 North Pearl Street, Brockton. Telephone 588-4111.
The World News with CNN is coming up, and then we'll get to Sharon at 8:06 with what's happening in our area on this St. Patrick's Day, 1998. Full-service radio for Metro South is WBET 1460 Brockton. It's news time.
CNN Radio News. I'm David Hall. Former White House volunteer Kathleen Willey is getting some heat from the White House. Letters she wrote to the president before and after she claims that he made a sexual advance toward her are signed fondly, and she describes herself as Mr. Clinton's #1 fan. President's attorney Bob Bennett tells CNN's Larry King Live there's also a $300,000 book deal in the works.
I'm saddened by the rush to judgment of many of the media, but I have a lot more confidence in the American people to withhold judgment until all of the facts are in.
Latest CNN USA Today Gallup poll indicates 43% of those questioned believe Willey, 40% believe the president. Mr. Clinton's approval rating comes in at 67%. The president has a full agenda today. He's pushing a proposed extension of Medicare, as CNN Radio's John Bisney reports.
The administration's proposed 55 buy into Medicare, the idea to help workers get health insurance who've been laid off or are taking early retirement. This morning, President Clinton joins congressional Democrats for a rally here marking the legislation's introduction in both chambers. But a presidential commission's also now working on a longer-term overhaul of Medicare, and its chairmen are urging fellow lawmakers to hold off on the Clinton bill until the panel takes a look. John Bisney, CNN Radio, Capitol Hill.
St. Patrick's Day is observed at the White House, along with some attention to peace in Northern Ireland. Details from CNN Radio's Dale Wellman.
Mr. Clinton has made it clear that he feels the next several months will be a critical time in the hunt for peace in the region. So he's meeting today with leaders of both the Catholic and Protestant factions, hoping to push them toward renewed efforts to end the strife in Northern Ireland. The president is considering a trip to Belfast in May, but he says that visit will depend on progress in those peace talks.
And those talks are set to resume in Belfast next week. This is CNN Radio News.
April 15th is almost here. Are you still procrastinating? Well, here's a way to finish your tax returns in record time. TurboTax software from the makers of Quicken. Guaranteed to make tax time fast, easy, and hassle-free or your money back. Just answer the simple questions that cover any tax situation. TurboTax does all the math and double checks for errors and omissions. It even helps you find overlooked deductions. Then TurboTax prints out your forms on plain white paper. All you do is sign and mail them. Call 1-800-614-5858 and try TurboTax risk-free for 30 days. Keep it and pay just $39.95 plus $5 shipping and handling. And if you act right now, you'll also receive Printmaster software free. Don't put it off any longer. Call 1-800-614-5858. April 15th will be here soon. So act now and make this your easiest tax season ever with TurboTax. That's 1-800-614-5858.
President Clinton will accept the traditional bowl of shamrocks from the Irish Prime Minister. Thousands of people are gathering in New York City for the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Fergus O'Rourke is visiting from the old country.
They've made an enormous contribution to New York, and the fact that they have been marching up Fifth Avenue for so many years gives a great sense of, I suppose, belonging in the city as well.
This is CNN Radio News. The Army's former top enlisted man, acquitted of sexual assault charges, is taking his chief accuser to court. Eugene McKinney filing a $1.5 million libel suit against retired Sergeant Major Brenda Hoster. He's also appealing the one-rank demotion that he received for his conviction on obstruction of justice charges. Opening statements expected today in the Billings, Montana trial of 6 people charged in connection with that 1996 standoff at the Freemen compound. The defendants are charged with aiding federal fugitives. 14 other members of the group who faced trial in May. 4 were barred from court for trying to disrupt jury selection yesterday. Wall Street, after setting a few more records, awaits the latest plate full of economic figures. Details from CNN-FN, Stuart Varney.
The Commerce Department will release housing start numbers at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Consensus estimates for the month of February call for a 2% rise, 2 full percentage points on the upside. That would make for an annual rate of 1.5 million new homes. The Federal Reserve Board will release industrial production numbers and capacity utilization figures at 9:15. Industrial production, that's a measure of physical output by the nation's factories and mines, expected to remain unchanged. As for capacity utilization, it's expected to slow slightly to a reading of 82.8%.
Russian President Boris Yeltsin's latest illness has forced the cancellation of his summit meeting with leaders of the other former Soviet republics. Kremlin describes Yeltsin's ailment as an acute respiratory infection. This is the CNN Radio Network.
If you're a diabetic or if you know someone who is, please listen carefully and get ready to write down a phone number. Through Certified Diabetic Supplies, Inc., diabetics who qualify may be able to receive their diabetic supplies at no cost. Participants must be covered by health insurance or Medicare Part B. Those who have Medicare Part B must be insulin dependent. HMO coverage is not acceptable for this program, and Medicaid is acceptable only as secondary coverage to Medicare. CDS does all the paperwork and ships the supplies directly to the patient's door with no shipping and handling charges. Call CDS today and let us make your life with diabetes much easier. Remember, no HMOs, please. Call 1-800-590-4217. Call now, 1-800-590-4217.
This is full-service radio for Metro South. Here's the latest news on WBET 1460.
Good morning. It is 24 degrees at 8:06, and meteorologist Russ Murley says we'll have plenty of sunshine today with temperatures in the 40s. His forecast is coming up. This news is brought to you by 1666 Liquors. A bail hearing will be held today for Michael Poirier, the Brockton High School ROTC instructor charged with fondling several female students. 40-year-old Poirier pleaded innocent to these charges at his arraignment in Brockton District Court yesterday. Poirier of Middleborough faces several charges, including indecent assault and battery and intimidating a witness. Prosecutor Gene Holmes says the alleged attacks occurred at the high school, and some of the victims were handcuffed before they were fondled. The Enterprise says Poirier is also accused of threatening a male student who learned of the alleged assaults. Poirier does not have a college degree and is not a public school teacher. Prosecutors will argue today that he is too dangerous to be let out on bail. The Brockton Finance Committee last night approved the proposed engineering analysis for storm water drainage control along the Salisbury Brook. They also favorably recommend to the City Council the appropriation of funds for a procedural audit of the parking authority. These matters will go before the City Council at their next meeting on Monday night, March 23rd. An East Bridgewater man was involved in a single-car accident last night on North Central Street in East Bridgewater. Police reported that 31-year-old Mark Virgo failed to negotiate a turn, hit a pole, and spun around, turning his truck on its side. Virgo suffered minor injuries and was transported to the Brockton Hospital, where he was treated and released. Virgo has been charged with a marked lane violation, operating under the influence and speed not reasonable and proper. He was not arrested, but he faces a criminal complaint. 2 down, 1 to go. Last night, the town of Rockland voted in favor of the Naval Air Base reuse plan. Rockland is the second of 3 towns to approve the plan to build a mega mall at the former South Weymouth Naval Air Station. Weymouth voted in favor of the plan 2 weeks ago. The final vote is scheduled for March 23rd in the town of Abington. Tonight, the Brockton School Committee meets at 7:30 in the Little Theater at Brockton High School. And the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Abington starts at 1 p.m. today at Orange Street. Post-parade festivities will be from 2:30 to 7 at the VFW Hall on Central Street. A house fire in New Bedford has claimed a second victim. Gladys Stykowski died last night at Mass General Hospital in Boston. Her husband, Stanley Stykowski, was pronounced dead at St. Luke's Hospital in New Bedford shortly after the fire yesterday. Citing asbestos problems uncovered at the Saltonstall office building, a legislative committee is now requesting that all state buildings be inspected.
A legislative committee is asking for all state buildings to be examined for asbestos. The House Post-Audit and Oversight Committee says that a breakdown in maintenance is being reviewed at the Saltonstall building, where asbestos traces have been detected. And State Representative James Fagan of Taunton says that there's been systematic neglect there.
As we pressed forward in the investigation, we found that there was continuing evidence of asbestos as well as other problems in that building.
Fagan says heavy dust, fungi, and molds were also detected in ducts, while asbestos removal and possible raising of the Saltonstall building may cost taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. Steve Winslow reporting for WBET News.
Authorities today will return to a site in Revere where workers found skeletal human remains yesterday. The remains were unearthed by a construction crew using heavy equipment to dig out a culvert. Bill Weld says he has no interest in running for anything. The former Massachusetts governor says he is very happy practicing law and has no plans to return to public life. He says he may do some campaigning for Paul Cellucci this year. Attorneys representing 4 reputed mob leaders say they want federal Judge Mark Wolf to remain on the case, but the Justice Department has requested that Wolf step down, citing possible conflicts from his days as a federal prosecutor. And the chairman of the Mass Racing Commission says state police are investigating a claim of possible improper handling of money at now-closed Foxborough Park racetrack. Commission Chairman Robert Hutchinson disclosed the investigation yesterday during a hearing on a way to deal with the track's debt of more than $13 million. The racetrack owned by Charles Sarkis was forced to close last July. Sarkis' lawyer Andrew Troop said he had not heard of any investigation before. Hutchinson said he had received an anonymous letter saying cash flow at the park had not been handled appropriately and that he gave the letter to state police. State Police Lieutenant Jim Lane said Sarkis was not named in the allegation. In sports, the Bruins beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in overtime last night. The score was 4-3. The Bees are off until Thursday when Toronto comes to town. Tonight, the Celtics are in Dallas for a game against the Mavericks. Charlie has more sports news coming up for you in just a few minutes. The winning numbers drawn last night in the Mass Millions game were 6, 19, 25, 26, 32, and 39. The bonus number was 48. There were no jackpot winners, so Thursday's jackpot's expected to be $4.5 million. The winning combination in the Mass Daily Lottery was 2798. That's 2798. Payouts based on a $1 bet with all 4 in exact order was over $4,000. The WBET News time is 8:11. We'll have the forecast after this from 1666 Liquors.
Whatever the season, you really don't need a reason to get together with family or friends, enjoying a party, watching your favorite team. That's where 1666 Liquors in Brockton can add so much to any occasion. They have the coldest beer in town from all over the world, your favorite wines and liquors, but lots of other things to make your good times even better. They also have chips, soda, milk, juices, complete lottery facilities, even a video department for those relaxing evenings at home with your favorite movie. Got a sweet tooth? 1666 Candies has a great selection of homemade chocolates, sugar-free candies, nuts, and much more. To make your good times even better, visit 1666 Liquors. You'll like the selection, and you'll love the special low prices throughout the store. 1666 Liquors for the finest selection at discount prices. 1666 South Main Street in Sergeant's Plaza, Brockton.
Good morning. Our forecast for the Metro South area looks like a gorgeous day today with mostly sunny skies. High temperatures reach 43 to 48 this afternoon. Clouds on the increase tonight, 25 to 30. It'll be cloudy with developing rain tomorrow, maybe starting briefly with some snow or sleet, lower 40s. The outlook for Thursday, more occasional rain likely, 42 to 47. This is meteorologist Russ Murley on 1460 WBET.
Thanks, Russ. It's 24 degrees, and this news was brought to you by 1666 Liquors at 1666 South Main Street in Brockton. I'm Sharon Smith for WBET News. Charlie?
Sharon,
Charlie?
It's 8:13 on WBET. Here's this is only in New York City this can happen. Here's this company out in Nebraska. It's called the Beatrice Concrete Company. They got a parking ticket in New York City. Problem is they've never been to New York. The ticket arrived by mail on November 12th, and sure enough, it matched the plates on one of their trucks. So one of the company officials knew that they hadn't made any deliveries to New York, so they wrote to New York's Department of Finance. They included a copy of a fuel chart, an odometer reading showing the truck could not have possibly driven to New York in a day. So what do you think the city of New York said?
We don't care. It was the plate. You
Tough.
owe us the money.
Tough, in so many words. They owed the company owed $65, so they sent this letter contesting it. The next letter, it was 85. So then they tried again, then it went to 115.
It just kept going and going.
So now they've just given up, which is probably not the right thing to do, but they've just said, well, if we send another letter, it's going to go up again.
Did somebody steal their plate?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty bizarre.
I mean, that's like really weird.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if they've got the plate, but they've never been there, well...
New York is bizarre. I was in upstate New York, and I got pulled over, and they don't give you the ticket right there. They send it to you. I'm like, okay, well, how much is it? Well, we don't know. We'll mail it to you, and you can send it in. Okay, thanks.
And I had the same problem happen, different, but with a cellular telephone. And these jerks, on which company I won't mention, I got this, cellular phone bill for like $60, and I said, wait a second. So the calls were made from Connecticut, and in that time, as a matter of fact, I hadn't been anywhere near Connecticut. So I called them, and they said in so many words, well, they said in so many words, you're a liar. Well, somebody must have taken your phone. No, they didn't. Well, somebody must have, and then finally I got a hold of someone who had at least a clue and said, well, there's a lot of cellular fraud. I said, well, fine. Now let's get on with it. But, that does happen.
Well, we know you were just rushing down to Connecticut to use your phone.
Yeah, that's exactly. I flew down 95 just to see if my phone would work in Connecticut and make about 8 calls to the same phone number. And I've called that number, too, and nobody ever answers the phone. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we tried that, too. And I told them, I said, here, call these people. I don't even know who these people are. But, whatever. So it's out there. Hi, Glenna.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you? I'd like to wish Mr. Moore, teacher at the Franklin School, happy birthday from his fan club.
From his fan club?
Yes.
What does Mr. Moore teach over there?
I believe he teaches 5th grade.
Oh, he teaches 5th grade. Well, wait a minute. You're in his fan club and you don't know what grade he teaches?
We work at another job together.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair. All right, how old is he today?
29 and holding.
There's a lot of those this year.
Yes, that's right.
And what school does he teach at again?
The Franklin.
Franklin School, okay. All right, Mr. Moore, what's his first name?
Bob.
Bob, okay. All right, Bob will have happy birthday today, 29. Yeah, right. Thanks, Glenna.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's 8:16 on WBET. And we'll check the roads and sports here in a bit.
Sweepstakes Shake-Up. I'm Doug Whiteman with Consumer Watch. Some of those sweepstakes mailings stuffing your mailbox are going to start looking a little different. American Family Publishers, whose contests are fronted by Dick Clark and Ed McMahon, has agreed to tone down its promotions in a settlement with 32 states and the District of Columbia. American Family spokeswoman Jean Meyer.
This agreement has served the interest of all consumers. It means that 33 of the nation's leaders in consumer protection have fully reviewed our practices and cooperatively resolved any outstanding issues.
Janice Marich in the Washington State Attorney General's office says complaints have centered around the way some of the mailings made every recipient sound like a winner.
Do not deceive people with hype to be able to get them to buy your magazines.
One elderly man who mistakenly thought he'd won flew from California to Florida twice to collect his winnings. 25 of the states will split a $1.25 million cash settlement. The money will go toward legal costs, but not to consumers. I'm Doug Whiteman.
In today's competitive market, purchasing a car can be confusing. Wouldn't it be great if you had a series of guidelines on what to know and ask to make the best decision possible?
Tip number 1, consider a pre-purchase inspection. Always use an unbiased, objective professional who does not sell automobiles. Why is that?
The person looking over your car should only be concerned with the car you're buying and not selling you something else.
Tip number 2, get all promises in writing by the seller.
Well, here at Miskinnis, we always put our promises in writing.
Tip number 3, understand the warranties that it comes with and what is covered.
Miss Guinness offers a certification program that includes comprehensive written warranties for all of our certified vehicles.
Stop into any Miss Guinness location in Bridgewater, Hyannis, or West Bridgewater to get a copy of all 23 of our buying tips.
Miss Guinness will show you how easy it is to do business here. We only sell great vehicles, guaranteed or your money back.
You won't worry about long-distance phone rates when you buy a phone card at Montello News in Brockton. For just 6 cents a minute, you'll be able to call anywhere in the United States without spending a lot of money. Buy a $5 card and get up to 80 minutes. A $10 card will give you 160 minutes. If you want to call your friends or loved ones without spending a lot of money, now you can with a 6 cent a minute phone card from Montello News at 829 North Main Street in Brockton. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Yeah, that's a great deal. 6 cents a minute? 18 after 8 o'clock out to the road. John Hamblett has the latest, John?
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Busy go through Fall River, through Brockton. We have an accident 195 east on the ramp to 24 north in Fall River. That ramp is still closed off. A couple cars involved in an accident there. It's busy up to Avon, past Harrison Boulevard, up to 128. 128 remains a rough ride, even though that breakdown is gone by Route 109. And this WBET traffic update brought to you by Ann & Hope. Save 30% on boys branded activewear this week at Ann & Hope. T-shirts, shorts, windwear, and more from Adidas, Reebok, Fila, and Wrestle Athletic only at Ann & Hope. Be smart. Be here. John Hamblett for WBET 1460.
Sports on WBET at 8:19. Dmitry Kristich tied the game with a shorthanded score in the final 2 minutes. Steve Hines got the game winner at the 124 mark. The Bruins hung on to beat Tampa in OT 4-3 at the Fleet Center.
Yeah, we got away with it. You're right. That's a good point. We'll take the 2 points, but might get arrested on the way out for stealing. We didn't. No, they outplayed us. We have to give them credit too.
Yeah, they did, and something about the Bruins when they play on their home ice against a lesser commodity, the Bruins never play up to snuff. And again, it happened last night, and they bailed out with the win. Bruins off now till Thursday when Toronto comes to the Fleet Center. Bruins find themselves now 5th place, 2 back of Montreal for that 4th spot, and home ice for the first round of the playoffs. Celtics basketball tonight from Dallas. The Celtics and Mavericks. Kenny Anderson, a question mark tonight, had a cortisone shot in his knee. Says he'd like to play, but whether or not Rick Pitino allows that remains to be seen. Red Sox baseball this afternoon against Texas at Fort Myers. Yesterday, the Red Sox were beaten by the Yankees by a score of 6-4. Not the best outing of the season for Pedro Martinez. Struck out 7, walked 1, but allowed 6 hits in 4 innings for his toughest outing of the spring. We'll talk to Seth Livingstone about that 12:20 this afternoon with our Red Sox spring training report. No upset for the Harvard women last night in basketball. Tournament action as Arkansas beat the Crimson by a score of 82-64 in a second-round game out in Stanford, California. And the latest from the world of golf, Jack Nicklaus was not going to play in the U.S. Open this year. However, the United States Golf Association has given Nicklaus a 3-year exemption, including this year, for the tournament out in San Francisco. That would allow Nicklaus to extend his streak of major championship appearances to 157. That's sports on WBET at 8:21.
If you're almost perfect, we want your business. Hi, this is Bill Carpenter of Carpenter Insurance. It seems like every insurance company is offering discounts for Step 9 drivers with perfect driving records. What if you're an almost perfect Step 10? Most insurance companies have reduced their discounts for Step 10 drivers, but not us. We're offering a full 10% discount for all Step 10 drivers. If you're an almost perfect Step 10, call us at Carpenter Insurance and save money. 508-587-9900.
Thank you, sir. Russ Murley's forecast from the Metro South Weather Center calls for a very nice day today. Enjoy sunshine and the temperatures between 43 and 48 degrees. Clouds develop overnight tonight, 25 to 30, and then tomorrow and Thursday don't look good. Wednesday, clouds could start off with some sleet. Will change to rain, low 40s, more of the same on Thursday. Eesh. Just what we need, more rain. Oh, good. 2798 in the lottery numbers game, 2798. And in Mass Millions last night, 6, 19, 25, 26, 32, 39, and a bonus ball, 48 Mass Millions jackpot. Jim Larkin, Sounds of the Emerald Isle with Bill Alex today. It's 2 hours of get away from the real world. Let's have some fun today with the Newsline program between 9 and 11 and all kinds of Irish music and comedy and trivia, fun, all kinds of great prizes, all to be given away today between 9 and 11. Be listening. It's 23 minutes after 8 o'clock.
A barefaced cheek. I'm Mike Reynolds with Film Clips. In the week leading up to Oscar, film companies have seemingly given up on releasing a full complement of big films. And while some of those Oscar hopefuls are still on plenty of movie screens, others are on only a few, if at all. So what better than to take an Oscar contender home with you? One of the best stories of 1997 was the out-of-nowhere leap by The Full Monty. Well, with Oscar voters 2 weeks away from posting their ballots, there came news that Monty may not have been as full and original as first thought, because a couple of playwrights brought a lawsuit claiming The Full Monty was very similar to a play they'd written some years earlier. Voters may have been put off by the impending lawsuit. Don't you be put off from viewing it on video now that it's out. The Full Monty is still full of great entertainment, that the issue of its originality doesn't matter to those of us loving good entertainment. On screens large or small, it's still a good story with great direction and truly wonderful acting. Definitely one for the home collection. I'm Mike Reynolds.
Bay Coffee announces real power for your desktop, the new Konica 7410. While the 7410 isn't big, it performs 3 big tasks for your office: copying, printing, and faxing. Every day you're asked to perform multiple business tasks effectively and efficiently. The 7410 is the quality solution for all your business communications needs, and it does it better than 3 standalone machines. The Konica 7410 has set the power standard for all your copying, printing, and fax requirements. This unit is perfect for the small workgroup, satellite office, or the home-based business. Although the 7410 performs many functions as a single unit, which can easily fit on your desk, it only requires 1 purchase, 1 installation, and 1 power connection. This saves your business time, energy, and office space. Call Bay Copy at 1-800-258-8133 for a free in-office demonstration. That's 1-800-258-8133. Bay Copy. They'll help you run your office more efficiently and professionally.
There are a lot of great things about the Bay State, 2 of which are not the traffic or weather, especially in the winter. Be sure your vehicle's at its best with a visit to Haps Auto Service in Brockton. Haps specializes in emission and computer service, tune-ups, brakes, exhaust, heating, air conditioning, and more, foreign or domestic, and Haps is also a mass inspection station. Haps Auto's open weekdays 8 to 5, Tuesday and Wednesdays till 8. Haps Auto Service, 1661 South Main Street in Brockton, across from Sergeant's Plaza. Call 508-588-4178. There are no mishaps with Haps.
8:25 on WBET. Junior D'Amato and our car care tip. Hi, Junior.
Still waiting for the music, Charlie. How are you? This great day. Sun is shining again.
You want me to find some music for you?
Oh, Charlie, make me a happy camper.
I'll do the best I can.
Yeah. That's what you tell everybody. But how you doing, buddy?
We're going to talk a little bit about your automobile today, and we talked a little bit about undercoating. Is it necessary or is it not, Junior?
Whatever happened to the Rusty Jones man, Charlie, that sat on the hoods and the roofs of all these automobiles with a lifetime warranty and some of this magic carpet stuff that they used to put on the carpets, put underneath the car, drill holes in the doors, and spray this goobly goop in there, and the goobly goop didn't rust, but where they drilled the holes, the paint started peeling 2 years later. Whatever happened to all that stuff, Charlie?
That's why you're here. I don't know.
All gone away, Charlie. Oh. No need to spray any kind of rust-proofing undercoating on today's cars for the simple reason that today's cars are double galvanized and they have all kinds of zinc primers. And if you think about zinc primers going back in the 80s when the paint was actually peeling off the cars, called delamination, it was because of the primer. Was so good and it was so scientific when they tested all this stuff that they didn't test it against the sun rays. Yeah, they put it in salt water and they put it through all the corrosion things down in Buzzards Bay and out in the Atlantic and up in Nova Scotia, but they never thought the paint would start peeling because of a chemical reaction between the ultraviolet rays in the sun and the base coat of paint that went on top of the primer. That's why we had all the delamination problems, Charlie, in the 80s and very early 90s with especially blues and silvers.
So I guess we don't need it anymore, do we?
No, we don't need that. And I tell you, the other thing we don't need to go and spend the extra money for rust proofing. Most cars today have a 6-year, 50 or 6-year, 100,000-mile rust-proof warranty. And by going down to your aftermarket companies and thinking that you're doing good, spraying the rust proofing and the undercoating under your car, you could actually void the warranty as far as the paint and rust through, because they claim that the metal does not breathe.
So I guess everybody can save their money. Don't worry about Mr. Rusty Jones and all that other kind of stuff. Absolutely no reason to do so.
How about for an older car? If you bought a used car that had, let's say, 75,000 miles on it, is it worth it?
Absolutely not, Charlie, because then if you're going to try to start undercoating a car that has 75 or 100,000 miles on it, unless you can get right down to the bare metal, seal it and paint it, and then spray some undercoating on it, Charlie, that would be the only way you're going to do any good. Remember, cancer and rust go together. Once you open someone up that has cancer, it's pretty much a serious situation. The same thing holds true with automobiles. Once you start rusting, a car starts rusting, it spreads like cancer, and the only way to get rid of it is to cut it out completely and weld in a new piece.
Okay, and that's doable more often than not.
Yeah, and it also gets very, very expensive. And for anybody that wants to go down to their local body shop, give these guys a break, cut them some slack. If they take care of some rust, they should be right up front and tell you that, listen, this may come back in a year or two. That would be the advisable thing for anybody to do in business. Or if you're asking about the car, ask them, well, can you guarantee the rust won't come back? And if anybody can guarantee the rust won't come back, they've either built enough profit into the job or they're praying that you're going to get rid of that car within 3 years, because rust will come back unless it is cut out completely, Charlie.
Okay, well, that's Junior's car care tip for today. And, of course, Junior has the Talking Cars program every Saturday between 8 and 11 here on WBET with just unbelievable information.
You enjoy the sunshine.
I will do that.
Take care, Charlie.
Thanks, Junior. Bye-bye. It's 8:29 on WBET. And Sharon's up with an update on news here in just a minute. Oak Street Laundry and Dry Cleaning is over on Oak Street Extension next to Bickford's. And you know what? For 7 days every week, they're open more than 12 hours a day. And that's convenience for you. Open 7 in the morning. Stop by on your way to work. Open until 7:30 in the evening. Stop by on the way home from work and pick up what you need. Drop-off, wash and fold services available at Oak Street Laundry and Dry Cleaning. It's a full-service laundry and fully attended 7 days a week. Dry cleaning on Sunday? Yeah, they're open. Most other dry cleaners are locked up, not Oak Street Laundry and Dry Cleaning. That's convenience. Compare prices. Pants, sweaters, blazers, shirts, $2.99. Barracuda jackets, $4.79. Women's plain dresses, $4.79. Right now there's a terrific sale going on where men's or women's expertly laundered shirts, 99 cents when brought in with your dry cleaning. So it's convenience. It's great prices. It's super service. Oak Street Laundry and Dry Cleaning, 65 Oak Street Extension next to Bickford's in Brockton. 8:30 on St. Patty's Day. Latest update on news is next on WBET Brockton.
This is Full Service Radio for Metro South. Here's the latest news on WBET 1460.
Good morning. It is 24 degrees at 8:30, and meteorologist Russ Murley says we're in for a pleasant day with sunshine and temperatures in the 40s. His forecast is coming up. A bail hearing will be held today for Michael Poirier, the Brockton High School ROTC instructor, charged with fondling several female students. 40-year-old Poirier pleaded innocent to these charges at his arraignment in Brockton District Court yesterday. Poirier of Middleborough faces several charges, including indecent assault and battery and intimidating a witness. Prosecutor Gene Holmes says the alleged attacks occurred at the high school and some of the victims were handcuffed before they were fondled. The Enterprise says Poirier is also accused of threatening a male student who learned of the alleged assaults. Poirier does not have a college degree and is not a public school teacher. Prosecutors will argue today that Poirier is too dangerous to be let out on bail. The Brockton Finance Committee last night approved the proposed engineering analysis for storm water drainage control along the Salisbury Brook. They also favorably recommend to the City Council the appropriation of funds for a procedural audit of the parking authority. These matters now go to the City Council for their next meeting, which is Monday night at March 23rd. An East Bridgewater man was involved in a single-car accident last night on North Central Street in East Bridgewater. Police reported that 31-year-old Mark Virgo failed to negotiate a turn, hit a pole, and spun around, turning his truck on its side. Virgo suffered minor injuries and was transported to the Brockton Hospital, where he was treated and released. Virgo has been charged with marked lane violations, operating under the influence, and speed not reasonable and proper. Virgo was not arrested. He faces a criminal complaint. 2 down, 1 to go. Last night, the town of Rockland voted in favor of the Naval Air Base reuse plan. Rockland is the second of 3 towns to approve the plan to build a mega mall at the former South Weymouth Naval Air Station. Weymouth voted in favor of the plan 2 weeks ago. The final vote is scheduled for March 23rd in the town of Abington. Tonight, the Brockton School Committee will meet at 7:30 in the Little Theater at Brockton High School. And the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Abington starts at 1 p.m. today at Orange Street. Post-parade festivities will be from 2:30 to 7 at the VFW Hall on Central Street. A house fire in New Bedford has claimed a second victim. Gladys Stykowski died last night at Mass General Hospital in Boston. Her husband, Stanley Stykowski, was pronounced dead at St. Luke's Hospital in New Bedford shortly after the fire yesterday. The House Post Audit and Oversight Committee wants all state office buildings inspected.
A legislative committee is asking for all state buildings to be examined for asbestos. The House Post Audit and Oversight Committee says that a breakdown in maintenance is being reviewed at the salt install building where asbestos traces have been detected. And State Representative James Fagan of Taunton says that there's been systematic neglect there.
As we pressed forward in the investigation, we found that there was continuing evidence of asbestos as well as other problems in that building.
Fagan says heavy dust, fungi, and molds were also detected in ducts, while asbestos removal and possible raising of the salt-installed building may cost taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. Steve Winslow reporting for WBET News.
Authorities today will return to a site in Revere where workers found skeletal human remains yesterday. The remains were unearthed by a construction crew using heavy equipment to dig out a culvert. Bill Weld says he has no interest in running for anything. The former Mass governor says he's very happy practicing law and has no plans to return to public life. He says he may do some campaigning for Paul Cellucci this year. President Clinton's lawyer suggests that money may be the motive for Kathleen Willey going public with her charge that Clinton groped her. Robert Bennett says Willey's lawyer is arranging a $300,000 book deal for the former White House worker. Willey accuses Clinton of making a crude sexual advance. He denies it. Meanwhile, the White House has released letters and phone records to undercut Willey's credibility. The president's advisors say the chatty-sounding letters cast doubt on Willey's statement that she was left angry and feeling betrayed by Clinton. Yet they privately concede those same documents could raise questions about why Clinton was so eager to help Willey find better employment after the alleged encounter. A majority of Americans surveyed in a new CBS poll, 52%, say they think Bill Clinton has engaged in reckless sexual conduct since he's been president. But an even greater number, 67%, say they approve of the way he's doing his job. That much talked about new witness in the Monica Lewinsky investigation won't be testifying before a grand jury today after all. Sherry Densick's lawyer says his client asked to delay her testimony until next week. He says she's upset by all the publicity. After being acquitted of sexual misconduct charges, Gene McKinney says he's ready to move on. But first, he's suing his most public accuser for libel. The former sergeant major of the Army says Brenda Hoster lied about him to reporters when she said he harassed her. Irish eyes will be smiling in New York today, home of one of the world's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebrations. The city's annual parade will feature 100,000 marchers, including Martin McGuinness, chief negotiator for Sinn Féin, the political arm of the Irish Republican Army. President Clinton is devoting most of this St. Patrick's Day to the Northern Ireland peace process. He's meeting today with 4 different delegations representing parties involved in the talks. His message to all of them will be that now is the time to settle the conflict. President Clinton's advisors on AIDS say they're angry. They're expected to approve a resolution today saying they have no confidence in the administration's ability to fight the spread of the AIDS virus. They're also demanding the government buy clean needles for drug addicts. The parents of JonBenet Ramsey say they approve of convening a grand jury in their daughter's murder. That's as long as Boulder, Colorado police don't control it. The Ramseys say the police should be a target of the investigation for alleged misconduct. A cargo crash creates another problem for the space station Mir.
There was another hitch for the Mir space station as the Progress cargo craft carrying needed supplies veered off course as it was about to dock early Tuesday morning. Commander Talgat Musabayev had to steer the Progress in manually at the last minute. The Progress carries new wrenches the cosmonauts will need to open a hatch that jammed March 3rd, causing the crew to cancel a spacewalk. That walk is now rescheduled for April 1st. Jill Doherty, CNN Radio, Moscow.
In sports, the Bruins beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3 in overtime last night at the Fleet Center. The Bees are off until Thursday when Toronto comes to town. Tonight, the Celtics are in Dallas for a game against the Mavericks. The winning numbers drawn last night in the Mass Millions game were 6, 19, 25, 26, 32, and 39. The bonus number was 48. There were no jackpot winners, so Thursday's draw is expected to be $4.5 million. And the winning combination in the Mass Daily Lottery was 2798. That's 2798. The WBET news time is 8:37. Here's Russ Murley with the forecast.
Mostly sunshine, a beautiful day today. 43 to 48 degrees should do it this afternoon. Clouds on the increase tonight. We're down to 25 to 30. It'll be cloudy with developing rain, maybe starting with some snow or sleet briefly tomorrow morning. Temperatures reach the lower 40s in the afternoon, and more occasional rain likely on Thursday. Temperatures 42 to 47. Unfortunately, it looks like that rain will carry over into Friday as well. This is meteorologist Russ Murley on 1460 WBET.
Thank you, Russ. It is 24 degrees in downtown Brockton. I'm Sharon Smith for WBET News. Back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Sharon. 838. You're looking for quality jewelry from an honest, reputable store where the staff knows the products they sell. Well, that's Wilson Jewelers. Carriage Crossing Shopping Plaza, East Bridgewater. Now, today, you sneak over there and get a nice gift for someone for St. Patrick's Day. They still have some stuff available. Great stuff, too. Man, if you've seen it. Beautiful 14-karat leprechauns, charms, cladder bracelets, earrings, and rings. I've got them all. You can grab one first thing this morning. They'll be open throughout the day today. And all kinds of types and styles of jewelry, so you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Rings, beautiful gold chains and bracelets, necklaces, 14-karat gold earrings, designer gold necklaces. They've got 14-karat Nantucket baskets, bracelets, and earrings. And, of course, the mother and child jewelry, which is just great. If you've never seen it, check it out. Gorgeous. Wilson Jewelers is an authorized Bulova Accutron dealer with the full line from Caravel to Bulova's 14-karat gold line. Confirmations, communions, graduations are upon us. Now's the time to visit Wilson Jewelers and get your order in. Wilson Jewelers has quality jewelry, personal service, and they also offer repairs on site. Make sure your repairs are done right by a qualified professional, and that's the deal always. Wilson Jewelers, members of the Jewelers of America organization. Layaways accepted, all major credit cards honored, open every Tuesday through Saturday. Want information? 508-378-9144. How about that last-minute gift for somebody for St. Patrick's Day? 508-378-9144. Wilson Jewelers, Carriage Crossing, Shopping Plaza in East Bridgewater. It is 8:39 on WBET Business Report. Up next.
If you're looking for First Communion veils, visit Prospect Hill Company in Brockton. They offer 26 different styles of veils, from simple floral wreaths to exquisite designs with pearls and lace. Prices range from $8 to $60, so there's something for everyone, no matter what your budget. Prospect Hill Company also offers a full line of First Communion and confirmation gifts for that special religious celebration. Visit Prospect Hill Company, 61 Prospect Street, Brockton, 508-583-2072, 583-2072, Prospect Hill Company.
Movie Palace, all right. I'm Doug Whiteman with a Business Minute. The escalating competition among theater owners has General Cinema going in a new and more upscale direction. It's announcing what it calls America's first premium cinema, opening next month at a multiplex outside Chicago. General Cinema Vice President of Marketing, Paige Thompson, says it will be like first-class air travel, but for moviegoers.
There's valet parking for people who come here, free valet parking. There's a code check and a concierge who will give you your tickets. You proceed into a private lounge, and in that private lounge you can order a variety of food, and there's an extensive wine list with Ravenswood and Mondavi and Kendall Jackson wines, a complete champagne list.
The auditorium will feature wide leather seats and tables for holding food and beverages. Tickets will cost about double what you'd pay elsewhere. General Cinema says if the concept takes off, and the company expects it will offer premium cinemas in other markets. That's a Business Minute. I'm Doug Whiteman.
If you're the person responsible for your company's telephone cost, maybe you haven't had time to truly evaluate how best to take advantage of the many changes deregulation has brought to the telecommunication industry. Well, don't feel so all alone. PhoneWorks Telecom has helped many local companies bring savings of up to 40 to 55% right to the bottom line, while at the same time increasing service and capacity to better serve your customers. Now you can receive over 17 years of local, long-distance, and equipment experience to help you make the right decision that best fits your company's needs. No matter what size or type of business, PhoneWorks services are always free. That's right, absolutely free. So pick up the phone and call Mike today at 586-6666, extension 100. That's 586-6666, extension 100. Or see their ad in the Brockton Yellow Pages. PhoneWorks. They make every call count.
8:42 on WBET. 18 before the 9 o'clock news. Morning. And welcome. We're going to have some fun with the Newsline program today with Jimmy Larkin of Sounds of the Emerald Isle. Catherine Willey, President Clinton, forget it today. Let's just go away for a day. Bring it back tomorrow. It's Irish Day today. Jim's got some great prizes, too. We'll get to that in a little bit. It is St. Patrick's Day, and where else would you go but O'Leo's Pub, 789 Center Street on Route 123. Kitchen staff's been changed. New cooks have been brought in. Their menu's great. They've got daily specials, a little something for everybody. Kitchen's open 11 in the morning till 11 in the evening, 7 days a week to either eat in or take out. The bar room opens at 8 in the morning, Monday through Saturday. Sundays opens at noon. Keno, karaoke, entertainment. It's the whole deal at O'Leo's Pub, and of course, well, where else would you go today? But O'Leo's Pub. Appetizers include, I love this, it's called the Champion Sampler. It's the platter for those who cannot make up their mind. Count me in. Cheese bread, garlic bread, buffalo wings, potato skins, mozzarella sticks. From the charbroiler Steak O'Leo's, a sirloin steak smothered with peppers and onions, topped with a marinara sauce and cheese. Ooh, under $10. Sandwiches, pizzas, club sandwiches, salads, and calzones made to order. O'Leo's Pub, 789 Center Street, 587-0847. If you have any questions. 17 before 9 on Marion's Conversations today at 11:05. Author Geraldine Ross talks about breaking the grip of anxiety disorder. 11:05 to 12 noon today. Marion's program here on WBET. Market was just wild again yesterday to the plus side. Another update on what's happening on Wall Street. Top of the hour with CNN beginning at 10 o'clock, and then 3 times an hour beginning at noon. Top of the hour, 25 and 55 past the hour. It is 8:44. Russ Murley joins us from the Metro South Weather Center. Hi, Russ.
Morning.
How are you now?
What a day.
Oh, man, this is a 5-star beauty, and I guess we better enjoy it because thankfully we've got some rain in the forecast for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just been so darn dry lately. I'm getting worried about the reservoirs and the wells, boy, spring planting season coming up here. The ground's just parched. It's been horrible.
I saw down my way, down the Taunton River was overflowing its banks in a couple of spots, and looks like it might be doing it again, huh?
Yeah, get used to that because we are going to get some rain. How much rain? It's a tough call. We've got 2 slow-moving systems heading in our direction. They'll be back-to-back, and one of them I think will get a little steam up as it hits the coast later in the week. So things are going to go downhill, and unfortunately it's going to stay lousy for 4 or 5 days. So soak it up today, folks. It's just going to be a gorgeous day. 43 to 48, wall-to-wall sunshine. Tonight, here come the clouds. We're down to 25 to 30. Cloudy with developing rain tomorrow. Maybe starting briefly as some snow or sleet. Lower 40s tomorrow. Rainy tomorrow night and more occasional rain Thursday, mid-40s. Rain will likely continue into Friday and Saturday, too.
Oh, you got to be kidding. So this is it. You can wear your sunglasses today and then throw them out the window.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Thanks, sir.
Okay.
That's Russ from the Metro South Weather Center. It is 8:45 on WBET 1460. Morning.
Get in touch with your friends, relatives, or business associates overseas and save money doing it. Visit Montello News and pick up a phone card offering the lowest international rates anywhere. Whether you're calling England, Cape Verde, Mexico, or the Middle East, the lowest rates on phone cards can be found at Montello News. Phone cards to call anywhere in the United States for just 6 cents a minute are also available. Montello News at 829 North Main Street in Brockton. Taxes and connection fees not included. See store for details. As we join our heroes, Matt has just been involved in a minor fender bender. As his airbag deploys, it sends him shooting through a big hole into the trunk of his car.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah, but I can't get out.
Oh. Where's the key to your trunk?
It's in my pocket.
Oh, well, what do you want me to do?
Call Centerville Auto Body.
Call Centerville to pick the lock?
No, but I'll have to have the damage repaired anyways. Plus, they'll do a great job fixing this hole in my trunk. And then they can get me out of here.
Well, what's their phone number?
The guy will tell you in a minute.
Okay, will you be all right till they get here?
Yeah, I found a flashlight and a bag of chips.
Don't let auto body problems inconvenience you. Bring your car to Centerville Auto Body at 9 Packard Street in Brockton. They're fully trained and certified, and they'll handle repairs on just about any make or model vehicle, and they'll handle all the insurance paperwork for you, too. Call Centerville at 588-8458.
And in the tradition, of course, of any great soap, there will be a sequel to that. Whoa. 8:47 on WBET. Report on business coming up. Headlines on the way. It's been quite a day. It's actually been quite a 36 hours since the 60 Minutes piece with Catherine Willey. And now all these letters have been brought forth after the fact, which Ms. Willey apparently penned to the president, which certainly never inferred that anything bad happened between them. So now what? Weird stuff, and I'm sure there'll be more coming out today. Man, I mean, this stuff just gets unearthed from nowhere, doesn't it? The bull market continues to run in just phenomenal record numbers. We'll have an update on that in a second. And also coming up, we'll get to our entertainment report. George Thomas Division of Employment and Training has our job listings, and we go to the top of Mount Washington for our weather notebook. It's all on the way. We're up to about 28 degrees. It is warming up, and that sunshine feels good, doesn't it? It's nice and warm in the car as you head out and about today. Headed toward that freezing mark, and we should get to the low mid-40s before it's all said and done today, says Russ Murley from the Metro South Weather Center. It is 12 before 9 on WBET 1460.
Here's the latest from the financial desk. Quite a session for the stock market. The first session of the week with many records being set. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished with a gain of 116.33 at a record 8718.85. The first finish above 8,700 so far. And advancing issues led decliners by 4 to 3. The Dow Transportation Index up over 75 points. The S&P 500 up about 10.5 for a record close. The Nasdaq Composite Index up 16.5, and that was for a record close. Looking at the most active issues on the New York Exchange, iOmega was the most active, down 1.5 at 7 1/8 after the company warned of quarterly losses. That's followed by Compaq Computer up 1/16 at 25 7/16. At Micron Technology up 1.5 at 34.5, with the high-techs having a good session. And then PepsiCo up 3/8 at 40 for 3. I'm Alan Chartel.
It's 11 before 9 on WBET 1460 and the Newsline program with Bill Alex in about 20 minutes at 9:10, Bill.
Yes, and today is a very special day. Today we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and we're going to have a good time the entire 2 hours. Jim Larkin is with us, and this is an annual show that we do every single year here on WBET in Brockton. And Jim plays a lot of wonderful songs, and we'll have some trivia today, and we'll talk to a lot of people, and we'll just have a grand old time. It's a great day, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and we're celebrating here on WBET with Jim Larkin, and it all begins at 9:10 this morning. It's always one of the busiest shows of the year. So give us a call and let's have a good time.
The man's been here since 3:45 this morning preparing for
I realize that, sure.
He's ready.
All his goodies in front of him.
Oh, man.
It's all set to go.
It's going to be fun for 2 hours. We leave everybody aside today.
That's it.
They can wait for another day, and we'll have fun at 9:10.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Marion's Conversations follows 11:05 to 12 noon here on WBET 1460. We're 10 away from news at 9 o'clock. One quick note before we move on to our entertainment report. And the weather notebook, the Southeastern Massachusetts Red Cross looking for several motivated volunteers to assist in the health and safety departments in their Brockton training facility. Position will be responsible for, but not limited to, receiving visitors, answering phones, some clerical support. No previous experience is necessary, but if you can type a bit, that would be nice. You can contact the Office of Volunteers at the American Red Cross, 1-800-232-8812, 1-800-232-8812. And for all that's going on around the Metro South region, turn to us at WBET 1460. It's about 9 before the news, 28 degrees, presently downtown. And the update on news at the top of the hour from CNN, more on the President Clinton saga, for lack of a better term, and then Sharon 906 with what's happening all around our area, around the region, and around the world.
If you are a school department employee in Massachusetts, Mason & Mason Insurance of Whitman has some exciting news for you. Right now, Mason & Mason, in cooperation with People's Insurance Company, is offering all school department employees and their families a 12% savings on auto insurance and a 15% additional safe driver credit. For your convenience, Mason & Mason offers low down payments and flexible installment plans. You can even have payments made directly from your checking or savings account. Mason & Mason not only offers auto insurance, they also offer personal and commercial insurance, including homeowners policies and life insurance. Make sure you and your family have the coverage needed in case of an emergency. Call Mason & Mason Insurance at 781-447-5531. They will be glad to provide you with a free, no-obligation comparison of your present coverage with their new cost-effective programs. Or visit them in the old Firehouse at 458 South Ave in Whitman, open Monday through Friday from 8 till 5, and for your convenience, evening and weekend appointments are available. Call 781-447-5531. Mason & Mason Insurance.
In today's competitive market, purchasing a car can be confusing. Wouldn't it be great if you had a series of guidelines on what to know and ask to make the best decision possible?
Tip number 1. Consider a pre-purchase inspection. Always use an unbiased, objective professional who does not sell automobiles. Why is that?
The person looking over your car should only be concerned with the car you're buying and not selling you something else.
Tip number 2. Get all promises in writing by the seller.
Well, here at Miss Guinness, we always put our promises in writing.
Tip number 3, understand the warranties that it comes with and what is covered.
Miss Guinness offers a certification program that includes comprehensive written warranties for all of our certified vehicles.
Stop into any Miss Guinness location in Bridgewater, Hyannis, or West Bridgewater to get a copy of all 23 of our buying tips.
Miss Guinness will show you how easy it is to do business here. We only sell great vehicles, guaranteed or your money back.
And thinks big. I'm Michael Weinfeld with the Entertainment Report.
I have the napkin. I'm going to be anchored.
He's written jokes for the president's speeches. Now Al Franken hopes Bill Clinton pays back the favor. Franken would love to have the president on his new sitcom, Late Line, where he plays correspondent Al Freundlich. He already has an idea for an episode with Hillary.
Freundlich somehow believes that Hillary has a crush on him and very magnanimously explains to her that it would be better for the country if they not act on it.
I always felt like Dirk was my baby.
A week before the Oscars, and supporting actress nominee Julianne Moore is just about back to the weight she was before she had a son last December. Moore says she couldn't believe how big she got when she was pregnant.
Did you see me in the Tonight Show? I came out looking like a hot air balloon. I was like, whoa! I was so huge. It's like my face was like a big pumpkin.
Got any of that beer that has candy floating in it? You know, Skittlebrow?
Homer would do it for a six-pack of Duff, but the guy who speaks for him wants his salary tripled. All the main voices on The Simpsons are demanding a raise to $100,000 an episode. I'm Michael Weinfeld.
Excuse me, how do I get to the Poland Spring?
Can't get there from here.
Is it a long drive?
The way you're pointing, 25,000 miles.
Well, does this road go there or not?
Nope, don't go anywhere. Stays right where it is.
Poland Spring natural spring water comes from a protected source deep in the woods of Maine. It's surrounded by 400 acres of pine wilderness, but some folks here take the idea of protecting the Poland Spring source personally. Can't blame them. Poland Spring is one of the purest, best-tasting waters on Earth.
You haven't got four-wheel drive.
Do I need four-wheel drive to get to the Poland Spring?
Nope. All I'm saying is you haven't got it.
Getting past Poland Spring guards isn't easy, but you can call 1-800-28-WATER, and we'll bring pure, delicious Poland Spring natural spring water right to your door.
Poland Spring, what it needs to be from Maine.
I'm holding in my hand a thermometer that's never been used, sent to me by Frank Perdue, the Chicken Man.
Thermometers, all kinds, next on the Weather Notebook.
If you're in the market for a new pair of shaped skis, experience the difference behind Volant skis. Engineered with a patented steel cap design, no other ski maker can match Volant's ability to provide superior stability, edge hold, and easy turning. Whether you like to carve turns in deep powder, a gentle slope, or blast through crud and moguls, Volant has a ski for you. Visit your local ski outlet today to try a pair of the new Volant Titanium Series. Lighter and quicker edge to edge, these space-age skis let you ski better and faster without losing control. Remember Volant and ski the steel.
Hi, this is meteorologist Russ Murley. Winter weather can certainly change quickly here in New England. Winter storms are always challenging. With almost 25 years of tracking and forecasting New England storms, you can count on my winter weather forecasts right here on 1460 WBET.
Always open, always free, with close to 3,000 to see. Hi, I'm Dave Thurlow, and this is the Weather Notebook. That's the motto at the world's only thermometer museum, where curator Richard Porter showed me nearly every single thermometer in his collection, all of which is housed in his basement. Now, the thermometer is the most famous of tools in the weather trade, but thermometers don't always measure air. They measure things like, well, here, take a listen. In fact, let's see if we can set the world record for the most thermometers described on a radio program in 1 minute. Ready? Go.
A mercury thermometer, an inch long, that was in Crackerjacks as a prize in the 1920s. This is one of the thermometers that are used in deep-sea study. This is an old one used for antifreeze testing. Here's one of Marilyn Monroe. This one came from Boston Banana. These particular ones are used for studying skin tumors. This is a thermometer that's used by astronauts. It's sewed right into the spacesuit. This one is about 18 inches tall, the only pair of working thermometer earrings. This is the maximum minimum type. I do have one over here, and it reads to minus 100. It's this type of thermometer that can keep grain fresh for your morning cereal for 5 years. This is a replica of that big one in Chicago. This other one here is from the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta. Ceramic animals from Florida. That's a fishing thermometer from Minnesota. Several dozen in the shape of key. Galileo's Termomento Lento. Bathtub floater. A paperweight. Slow thermometer. Floating thermometer. Sterling silver.
There it is, 24 thermometers in 1 minute, a new world record. And you heard it here on the Weather Notebook. Our show is funded by Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
I'm George Thomas from the Division of Employment Training in Brockton. Job opportunities we currently have available include, we're looking for an auto mechanic. The job is located in Abington, Monday through Friday. There will be some Saturday morning work. The duties consist of repairing brakes, exhaust systems, replacing clutches and suspensions, also doing timing belts. You'll also be doing mass inspections. And when you're not working on vehicles, you'll be expected to do some towing and road service. Here we're looking for somebody with some electrical skills and also must have your own set of tools. Here in the South Shore area, we're looking for a supervisor. Hours are Monday through Friday. It's a 40-hour week. The employer offers competitive salary and complete health benefit. Must possess a current valid de-leading license. Will be supervising workers of de-leading residential buildings. And employer will provide suits and respirators. Here in Brockton, we're looking for a receptionist. The hours are Monday through Friday. It's a 40-hour week. Duties consist of typing, filing, doing all phases of general office work. Must have good customer service skills. An ideal candidate will be somebody that's able to deal with the general public and must also have at least 6 months experience on a computer. For information on these or any other jobs we have listed, you must visit our office at 25 White Avenue in Brockton. I'm George Thomas from the Division of Employment Training on WBET.
Find play-by-play of Brockton High School sports. Full-service radio for Metro South, WBET, Brockton.
CNN Radio News, I'm Pat St. Clair. The White House is on the defensive following claims by former volunteer Kathleen Willey that the president groped her in the Oval Office. The president denies it, and his lawyer is suggesting Willey's motivation is a lucrative book deal now in the works. As CNN Radio's Eileen O'Connor reports, the White House has also made public letters written by Willey.
The White House released scores of letters from Willey to the president, dated even after the alleged incident. In one, she describes herself as his biggest fan. Still, a CNN USA Today Gallup poll on Monday shows 43% believe Willey, 40% the president. Yet, Mr. Clinton's job approval rating is up 4 points to 67%. Eileen O'Connor, CNN Radio, the White House.
Russian President Boris Yeltsin's recovery from what aides described as a bad cold is taking longer than expected. The Kremlin says the Russian leader is partially bedridden and being treated by doctors at home. He was forced to postpone a major summit of former Soviet Republican leaders this week. The building industry is booming. The U.S. Commerce Department says housing starts surged 6%, the highest level in more than a decade.
Interest rates are very low, particularly early in the year here, but we expect them to gradually rise through the year and for 1998 to be a strong year, but probably not quite as strong as last year.
Larry Geltzer is the chief economist with Regional Financial Associates. Marchers are already lining up for New York's annual St. Patrick's Day parade down Fifth Avenue. 100,000 people are expected to wear the green for the annual event. St. Patrick's Day is celebrated in a big way in Savannah, Georgia as well. Tavern owner Brittany O'Connell opened her pub right at 9 o'clock.
No green beer, but we do have the place decorated in as much green as the place will handle.
Big parades are also on tap today in Boston and in Chicago. This is CNN Radio News.
You never know what to expect from the financial world, except the unexpected. But there's a way to protect your investments from the unexpected, and that's to own gold. Gold is more than just money. For 5,000 years, gold has remained a consistent store of value and trusted medium of exchange. Gold bullion coins are one of the simplest and most secure ways to own gold. And in the USA, one gold bullion coin is bought more than all the others, the American Eagle. The American Eagle is the only gold bullion coin minted with gold mined right here in America and backed by the U.S. government for weight and content, guaranteed. Blanchard & Company is America's leading dealer of gold American Eagles. Simply call 1-800-285-5466 to order. The Gold American Eagle will be a safe and solid addition to your investment portfolio. Call Blanchard now at 1-800-285-5466. That's 1-800-285-5466.
On this St. Patrick's Day, President Clinton will be talking about peace in Northern Ireland.
The Irish Republic's Prime Minister is delivering the traditional holiday greeting to the President today, but the holiday will also be a time for some old-fashioned political pressure. Mr. Clinton will be meeting with Protestant and Catholic leaders, including Jerry Adams, who heads the IRA's political wing. The President has said the next 2 or 3 months will be the critical time in the hunt for peace for the region. Dale Willman, CNN Radio, Washington.
This is CNN Radio News. The United States is lending a helping hand in Panama to deactivate thousands of acres of landmines that were left behind in the jungles.
People feel a bit scared because they are quite near, and there are bombs in there that haven't exploded. I've seen huge bombs.
A team of U.S. experts will help clean up the landmines. The military is also launching an awareness campaign to help teach people about the dangers of landmines. A drop in world gold prices has led to the closing of about a fourth of South Africa's gold mines in the gold city of Welkom, and that's put about 50,000 miners out of work.
I'm waiting for a job here. Yeah.
What sort of job are you looking for?
I'm looking for a job to be a mine worker.
Because of the massive unemployment, many people have to wait months or even years in order to find jobs. Under apartheid, South Africa was the cheapest gold producer in the world. That's because workers' wages were unrealistically low. It has now become the most expensive place to mine gold. A cargo ship carrying fresh food, water, and other supplies did manage to dock with the Russian space station Mir today, but it was a very tough haul. Just 1 minute before the link-up, the automatic docking system failed. That sent the incoming cargo ship spinning off its designated flight path. The Russian commander of Mir quickly took over the controls manually to dock the rocket, managing to bring the two ships together right on time. I'm Pat St. Clair. This is CNN Radio News.
If you're a diabetic or if you know someone who is, please listen carefully and get ready to write down a phone number. Through Certified Diabetic Supplies, Inc., diabetics who qualify may be able to receive their diabetic supplies at no cost. Participants must be covered by health insurance or Medicare Part B. Those who have Medicare Part B must be insulin dependent. HMO coverage is not acceptable for this program, and Medicaid is acceptable only as secondary coverage to Medicare. CDS does all the paperwork and ships the supplies directly to the patient's door with no shipping and handling charges. Call CDS today and let us make your life with diabetes much easier. Remember, no HMOs, please. Call 1-800-590-4217. Call now, 1-800-590-4217.